Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. It is the weekend. We are so excited to bring it in with you. Our top stories today: the new UAE visas come into effect on Monday.
We'll also talk about women in the UAE are standing in solidarity with their Iranian sisters.
Westlife brought a cancer patient on stage last night as it was her bucket list to see them live.
And after all of that, Anika will be giving us the lowdown on 3 events you need to check out this weekend.
And do stay tuned because later in the show, we have a lawyer joining us, Omar Al-Helou. He's going to answer all of your cohabitation questions in case you've been living under a rock. It was announced there's new rules which basically asked everyone to register their cohabitants. But what does that actually mean? We have all of that coming to you later in the show. And if you have questions regarding tenancy, occupancy, if you're a landlord or a tenant, please share them on Instagram, Facebook. We see them coming through. And even if we don't, Shahir behind the scenes probably certainly does because he's trying to answer them. But do send in your questions because we have Omar joining us later in the show. So we would like to get into all of that. But before we get there, yesterday was the day that we think about for about 28 days of the month.
Yes. And that we only, like the excitement only really stays for 4 days until you're back to, okay, so yesterday was payday for us.
Payday!
It starts off full, like if you see when you play games, right? Like the energy meter is full.
Yeah.
Green. And the way it goes to red in a matter of days.
It's so funny. Like Simran came in and she was like, I bought something last night. She has bought her wedding attire.
No, not my wedding.
Diwali, her outfits for the next year. You found a store and you just were like, bing, 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 bing. Your poor bank. You put them out of business.
Oh my gosh, I spent 4K, but it was like, for me, it was a steal. So I got 9 Indian outfits. And if anyone gets Indian clothes in Dubai, it's really expensive. So I spent 4K and it's like after I did it, because at the time I'm thinking like, you know what? Like I'm never going to get this deal again in my life. I'm never going to find these outfits again in my life. But that was me.
Sorry, that is like the definition of, I got paid today. I really think I need these 9 outfits. 9 outfits?
Yeah, Diwali, engagement, wedding.
When are they?
So when are they? Diwali is coming up. The engagement is this November. The wedding is next December. So,
So are you saying between now and then, there is no slight possibility or chance that you will see another outfit and you'll buy it? How do you even have the space?
Don't. You make the space. You throw your sister out of the house and you put it in her place. But you tell me, for you, what do you splurge on? Or do you splurge right after you get paid?
No, but your bank balance is on green.
Yeah.
You said it last 4 days. Like your bank balance is on green and it's like credit card, bills that you need to pay. And immediately it goes down to like a very kind of sobering figure. And then you have your first weekend and you enjoy yourself, going to a little beach party tomorrow. I don't even splurge, although my favorite store has a sale at the moment, so I'm just going to...
Why do we do this to ourselves?
We like nice things.
We need to be more responsible with our financial
We need to be more
spends.
responsible. If anyone has any tips and tricks on financial responsibility, we are here for it.
We're here, honestly, yeah.
Honestly. Let's jump into our top story. We're talking all about the new visas, which are coming into effect on Monday, October 3rd. October 3rd.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Mean Girls reference. What date is it?
Wait. October 3rd. Oh, October 3rd is when he called me cute. Right now?
So now it's obvious called me cute. Okay, so the highly anticipated new visa systems come into effect on Monday. Now, a little recap in case you've been living under a rock. Back in April 2022, the UAE announced some changes to its golden visa and visit visas, which were yet to come into effect. So here are the updates if you apply for a UAE visa, and they all start from Monday.
So the Federal Authority for Identity, Citizenship, Customs and Ports Security has launched its advanced services system for a trial run and the 5-year green residence visa. So the rules for that are eligibility for the green residence visa depends on salary and qualifications, but it's also open to all skilled professionals, entrepreneurs, investors and freelancers. Holders will be able to extend the benefit to their families, family members, as well as they can retain their residence status for 6 months after the visa is cancelled or expired.
Following that, then there's the new UAE Golden Visa, which has had an expansion as well. So the Golden Visa now has broader application criteria and it's open to students. One of the key differences is in the visit visa. So there are 3 categories and all will be valid for 2 months. So it's jumping from 30 days. If you have family that ever come for 30 days and they're thinking it's visa free, now you have no excuse. They're going to need to stay for 60 days because that's how long their visa lasts. You know, you'll stay for 30 days because that's visa. Now it's up to 60 days for all entry visas. 60-day visas for those looking to explore job opportunities in the UAE. So it gives you that little bit of extra time, and also a 60-day visa for exploring business opportunities.
That is brilliant, but if your guests are staying at your place, then good luck to you.
Why?
I mean, 60 days, no, 2 months.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
And at that point, you would need to register them as a co-occupant because they'll be staying for more than 30 days. So bear that in mind. If you need an excuse to tell your family not to come for 60 full days, what is the sweet spot for family visiting? Because obviously a lot of us have family abroad, and all we do our whole time is we talk to them, and we miss them, and we love them, and they're kids. We want to see them all the time. Then when they actually consider coming, it's amazing. And you're thinking, I'll take them to this place for dinner. We'll go for a walk. We'll go out to Al Qudra, show the desert. However,
did you just, like, the list of places has Al Qudra desert?
Yeah.
Like, camping.
Yeah.
Okay. You're cool like that. You're cool.
Desert's like one of the key things. But it gets to the point that like there's like that sweet spot of I love you, but I love you more.
Like, as in you want them to skedaddle. Yeah.
Like, how long did your sister last with you before you kicked her out?
I just so before
breathe.
Not really kicked her out. Like, it was just hypothetical.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So how long did that last? Not really long. But yeah, I get it. Like, I get it. I know what you mean, because I went through that with guests, and that to me being super, like specific with where I want everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what the sweet spot for you, as in like in terms of who makes the cut of staying longer, or like when is it?
No, how long? So like the sweet spot is probably a week, a weekend, and then 5 working days. Anything more than that in my house, I'd be too tired, because every single night, 1 week, 7 nights max, because you have to go to work, then you have to take them out and rinse, repeat for 7 days. They, however, they get up late. They go to the beach, they go to the pool, and then they expect you to be on top form when they get home. So there's like, I could do it for a certain amount of time, and then if there's kids involved, let's reduce that to 5 days. It's a whole other, like, in your house, I mean. If they stay elsewhere, marhaba. No?
On point. But yeah, if you have kids, you would rather stay in a hotel for your own sanity, for the sanity of the host, for the sanity of the people you're, visiting, in all senses, and to even give the kids their space.
Yeah, actually take my apartment. I'll go to a hotel, no problem.
I love that.
Do you have a sweet spot for guests, or are you just much more welcoming than me?
No, agreed.
Agreed?
Like, literally word to word of what you said, 100% agreed.
Interesting.
I wouldn't do anything different. We're literally the same person, Casey.
We're the same person.
Even when it comes to work, when it comes to like a lot of things, our social lives, our private lives, personal lives, professional
how we
lives.
like treat relationships.
Exactly.
Shopping.
Yeah, we're the same.
We are, in this case, we both like our own personal space.
Yeah. All the time. Guys, we move on to our next story. So women in the UAE are standing in solidarity with their Iranian sisters. So mass demonstrations in support of women's right to choose their own attire and against Iran's oppressive regime are still ongoing following the death of the 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. So Amini was arrested by Iran's morality police in the capital Tehran. Now, this happened back in September 13th for allegedly not wearing a hijab in full compliance with mandatory requirements. And local and international bodies confirmed that the Kurdish woman fell into a coma shortly after collapsing at a detention center, and then she passed away 3 days later. Now, women all over the world have been cutting their hair and taking to the streets to burn their veils in solidarity with Amini and as a show of resistance to the long-standing misogynist oppression.
Tragically, more than 75 people have been killed as the protests intensify. And as a result, the UN Human Rights are voicing their concern over the violence and internet restrictions in Iran.
So on September 27th, a spokesperson for the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Ravina Shamdasani, she called on Iran's rulers to fully respect the rights to freedom of opinion, expression, and peaceful assembly and association.
The spokesperson added that we are extremely concerned by comments by some leaders vilifying protests and by the apparent unnecessary and disproportionate use of force against these protesters. Firearms should never be used simply to disperse an assembly. So with that being said, women all over the UAE are standing in solidarity with their Iranian sisters and calling for justice. Manal Rostam, a Dubai resident hailing from Egypt, she wrote, "What's happening in Iran is morally and Islamically unacceptable and inhumane."
So she did put up a post on Instagram, and a post went on to read, "I stand with the women of Iran. Iran is not exercising the right form of Islam. They are exercising a pure form of patriarchy. And the way I see it, it is a bunch of mentally ill men taking out their frustration on innocent women. This is not about culture nor religion. This is about male chauvinism in Iran. I pray for a tolerant world where the women are free to be whatever they want to do, and whatever they want to do with their bodies, to cover it or not cover it."
Following that, Iranian singer and Dubai resident Leila Kardan, she wrote, "I am not my hair, I am not my skin, I am the soul that lives within Masa Amini."
And with all of that being said, please know that protests are illegal in the UAE. For an assembly to be legal, official permission must be taken from the government. And it is heartbreaking to know what women in these countries are going through, because now the conversation has become so frivolous about feminism, right? You say feminism and you're just like, oh, feminism, it just literally boils down to ladies' nights, like, oh, you have a full section given to you in a bus, in a metro, what more do you want? This is what feminism is boiling down to, but this is what it actually stands for and means, like standing for your rights. Like, women are oppressed in so many parts of the world, and they have to fight for their basic rights.
Mm-hmm. It's a right to choose, and I think Manal said it really, really well. It's not about religion, it's not about culture. It's about the oppressive regime that's being pushed on women, and this was the tragic death has been the kind of straw that broke the camel's back, and it's finally the women just saying no more. And we're seeing the few posts that we've shared on it, the amount of support coming in from not just women, but people around the world, just sharing their support. It just be whether it's a comment online, just showing, that they stand behind the women in Iran at this really, really difficult time as they're protesting for their rights.
Exactly. Very well said. And with these women, it's just such strong inspiration to see them, stand up against years and years of just patriarchy and just rules that don't give them their freedom. Now the fact that they've said enough is enough, and we will stand for what we believe is right, what we want to do with ourselves, what we want to do with our bodies, with our attire, with everything. And not just there, and America also, with the whole, there's so many systems put in place by men that women don't agree with, but why are their voices not heard?
True, and it's a challenging government to be protesting. I guess I think over the last number of years, the specific protests are eventually stamped out, and I think the thought process of the government is if they give any bit of leeway, then
they lose control.
So that's kind of the thought process. But this is kind of the biggest protest that they've seen, the biggest kind of outcry from the government. But then you're seeing kind of other governments jump in trying to get people back their internet access, because obviously internet has been restricted, which makes all of these conversations even trickier to have. But we'll follow the story, and if there's more updates on it, we'll share it with you on Lovin Dubai. Moving on to a Lovin Abu Dhabi story, Westlife brought a cancer patient on stage, and it was her bucket list to see them live. So, by the way, who was at Westlife last night? I wasn't. I wish I'd gone. I'm
You're a
kicking myself.
fan.
Big fan.
Oh, Casey.
I know, but it was Thursday's tricky. Missed a big show. Huge show in Abu Dhabi at the Etihad Arena. At the beginning of the show, the band promised they would play all of their classics, and that's what you want. You want the classics. Not only do they play their hits, they also played ABBA. Then they brought a mega fan on stage. So she was holding this placard, and it said kind of like things she wanted to do in life: fight cancer, see Westlife live. So they brought her on stage, and then they sang with her in this kind of beautiful moment. It's on Instagram if you want to see how it played out on stage. But we would love to know how it was for you if you were there. Was anyone? I'm looking at your comments on Instagram. Was anyone at Westlife last night? Anyone? Anyone?
Man, I saw the videos online this morning, and it was a banger. It was a banger.
I'm playing Westlife in my head right now, but we have copyright restrictions on Facebook, so I can't play it. We can play 6 seconds.
Hear you.
Should I do Uptown Girl? We've got a little world of our own.
Okay.
Which 6 seconds, before Facebook cuts us off, which 6 seconds could we do?
Any of your favorites. One of your favorites.
Okay. Let's just see where this takes us. We've got a little world of... They're just like inspiring. They're rousing. They're just so good. I've just put on an hour. Oh, that's us. Okay.
Okay.
6 seconds.
Close your eyes. You're at the concert.
I got it, guys. I got it.
The sound of the heavens.
Flying without wings, you raise me up.
Ah,
do you know it?
You raise me up? I mean, like, that is inspiring.
Do you know the song?
No. I feel like I've heard of it, but now I can't recall.
You raise me up.
I remember.
How do you not
I know it. I swear I know it.
We should have gone.
Together?
Yeah, my ticket would be different than yours, but yeah, it's all right.
Why? I think there weren't any seats, by the way. It was standing.
Better.
So I could go stand with you if I wanted.
Okay. Well, we didn't go. Are you going to 50 Cent this weekend?
Are you?
No.
Why do you say it like that?
I want to go. I do want to go because...
Are you just saying that because you don't want to know that you're going?
Okay. What are you doing this weekend? Right now, we're going to be joined by Annika, who talks about all the cool things in Dubai this weekend. What are you doing this weekend?
What are you doing this weekend?
I told you already. I told you exactly. If you cared, you would have listened at the beginning of the show. If you actually wanted to hang out.
You are not going to 50 Cent. You told in the beginning of the show.
I said at the beginning of the show what I'm doing. You weren't listening because you don't care. You don't really care.
No, what? Okay, just say it again.
No.
Just say it again.
No.
I forgot.
Exactly.
50 Cent.
No.
Are you going? Because I'll be there if you're going.
If you cared, if you actually wanted to hang out, you would pick up on the small things, but you don't.
Okay.
Moving in to the next story. It's the Weekend Hot List with Annika. All of the cool things happening in Dubai and beyond this weekend.
Hello folks, this is Anika Ellis Baby and I am back with an exciting new list of events that you can check out this weekend. First things first, I am going to say the 3 magical words that everybody wants to hear at least once in their lives. Free coffee refills! That's right, my dear coffee lovers. Come test out the limits of your caffeine intake at Jones the Grocer Express in DIFC. They're celebrating Coffee Day this Saturday and are giving out free refills between 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. But keep in mind that the first cup has to be on you. My next event is for those of you who want to take me to the candy shop because 50 Cent is coming to Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai today at 6:30 p.m. That's right, rap superstar Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is bringing his Green Light Gang World Tour to the city for one night only. So if you're available tonight, You know where the party's at. Go book your tickets on the platinum list. And my last event is for all of you who care about eating for a cause. Morish by K and Mama Rama have come together to raise funds for the people of Pakistan who have been affected by the severe floods. So head down to Mama Rama in Dubai on Saturday or Sunday to eat a heartwarming meal and also do some good. You can choose between brunch from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. or dinner from 7 p.m. onwards. All proceeds from this initiative are going to the Pakistan Flood Relief Initiatives, but make sure you book a spot before you head there. So that's my top 3 for this weekend, but as you all know, the weather is at that optimal sweet spot where it's not too hot and not too cold, which means it's outdoor party season and it's also the festive season. So you need to head on to the Lovin Dubai website and check out the weekend roundup where I've listed out a lot more cool things to do. As always, if I've missed out on something, do let me know because this is Dubai and over here, there's always something for everyone. That's it from me. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. By now, you're probably aware of the news surrounding tenancy rules for cohabitation and registrations. But what does that mean for you and what are the considerations that could come with it? Here to tell us all about the new rules is Omar Al-Helou, lawyer and dear friend of the show. Welcome back. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today. With respect to the new rules, actually, on 23rd of September and on Friday, a notification has been issued from the Dubai Land Department requesting all owners, property management companies, tenants, to register all the co-occupants or cohabitants in the residential units in Dubai by using Dubai Rest app within 2 weeks from the date of the notification. So the notification, if you ask me about when it will, it with immediate effect. So you have to register within 2 weeks. I think we have 1 week left.
1 week left, yep.
Yeah.
So now, a lot of people don't know about this, right? Like if you're not online, you won't know it as much. Like if you're traveling, you come back and you have a few days left and you haven't seen your emails or you have a whole bunch. What happens if you don't actually go through and register a co-occupant?
The good thing is that there is no punishment yet or no consequences if you don't do it. Still, it's mandatory. As far as I know, there is no punishment as of today, but maybe in future there will be something. So what actually I advise to, as far as you know, just go ahead and register to avoid any future consequences.
So I'm a tenant.
Yes.
I live alone, and my landlord sent me information about registering, but I don't need to register anything because I'm already on the tenancy contract. Is that right?
You are alone.
I live alone.
Do you have any code?
No.
Okay, خلاص. You are not.
I think a lot of people have questions. I think any person who's renting or landlords, they immediately saw this new rule regarding everyone, and they're kind of freaking out.
Yes, actually, as a tenant, you have to register your family members if they are living with you, and domestic help. For who actually live in a shared accommodation, the main tenant who's registered with RERA need to provide or register all the other co-occupants with him in the system. The only thing you need actually is the ID card, and if the co-occupant doesn't have the ID card, his passport and the name of the co-occupants. That's it only. There is one additional thing. So you have to register who is staying with you 1 month and more. So less than 1 month, there is no need. 1 month and more. This is according to the latest information has been revealed by the Dubai.
What if
Land
they're
Department.
visiting? It's only if they're living in Dubai, right? With an Emirates ID, you register.
Even visiting.
Even visiting.
1 month and more than 1 month.
Do we have any idea why the 2-week timeline? Because if you're asking the whole, if you're asking everyone to do this on the Rest app, by the way, it's a super easy process.
Yes.
Why do you think there was such a sense of urgency to do it?
It's to encourage and to push the people to
give them a deadline.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more for me. I think it's an administrative time. The reason behind 2 weeks is just to push the people to do it as soon as they can.
Okay, so now on the news, we're seeing a lot of updates about inspections, people going into buildings, asking, those who are in sharing, who are violating the contracts to leave and are being asked to, basically leave. So what exactly is a violation when you're sharing an apartment?
See, when you sign a tenancy contract with the landlord, there is a common understanding between you as a tenant and the landlord. So if the understanding was that you will rent the apartment for yourself and your family, what does this mean? This means that you cannot have anyone in addition to your family staying in the same apartment. If you sign a contract as you sign to live alone without anyone else, so it means that you have to only stay in this apartment. If you violate, if you breach this understanding or breach the contract, then the landlord can actually, he cannot kick you out from with immediate effect, because in Dubai nobody can kick you out from your apartment without having a proper judgment and order from the rent dispute center. So the landlord, of course, will file a case against you and then provide the rent dispute center with the grounds of asking the rent committee or the RDC to terminate and evacuate the apartment, which is actually violating the understanding and the terms of the stay. So if you want to have someone to share the apartment with you, I suggest to have a consent from the landlord before doing so, just to avoid having any kind of scenarios as we discussed now.
So a lot of buildings are, like they say family buildings,
Yes.
family buildings. So, I've never really heard someone say this is a building for bachelors. So if it's a verbal, if they've said it verbally, right, this is a family building, but it's not there in your contract, are you legally obliged? Is the landlord legally, can he just ask you to, vacate the premises if he sees that you're sharing with other people and not your family?
Back to what I said before. If you share with someone else without the landlord consent, will give a landlord a reason and a ground to file a case against you to evacuate and terminate the lease agreement.
Okay. Even if it was a verbal agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotta get that in writing.
Don't rely on verbal agreement, please.
No such thing.
Everything in writing.
Everything in writing.
Even with WhatsApp.
Okay.
It's considered as well before the rent committee.
Previously, it was illegal for an unmarried man and an unmarried woman to live together. That was changed.
Yes.
Do unmarried men and women need to be concerned about registering as co-occupants in this case?
As far as you have a co-occupants with you in an apartment, you have to register the co-occupants, regardless man or woman.
Okay.
Also, now families, right? They say multiple families cannot live together.
Yes.
But if you're staying with your cousins, if you're staying... So there are two scenarios. Number one, if I'm staying, me and my extended family are staying in one apartment together. And number two is if me and my family are staying with maybe another family that we've made friends with whatever it is, in the same apartment. Why is that an issue, or why could that be an issue?
See, back to what I said before. If the landlord agree, or if you explain to the landlord from beginning that I want this apartment or I want this villa or whatever to stay with my family only, it means that your family. If you have another family, it means that you are breaching the agreement. So from day one, explain to him that we are two families. We would like to stay in this villa. If he accept that and if he agree in writing, خلاص, you are not breaching the contract. The other thing, you know that Dubai has a master plan, urban master plan of 2040. The reason behind the registration and the reason behind all these regulation about two families, one family, is to avoid having slums in the future, and to actually build a structure and a proper plan for the future urban master plan of Dubai 2040. So if you come and try to have or breach, or if you didn't follow such rules, it means that you will affect such plan, which ultimately will affect the service, will affect the infrastructure, and affect all the things which need to be provided by the government to the citizens and residents and visitors of Dubai. So this is the reason, or the rationale behind all of these regulation and rules.
Interesting. So they're regulating, they're not making, by the way, it's not a blanket law, there's no penalties in place yet, but they're just encouraging everyone to register and just be aware that they are going to be beginning regulation of numbers of people in apartments.
Yes. Another reason behind it, as land department stated, that they are building and developing a comprehensive statistical record for the government entities. Why? Because the government entities would like to respond to the evolving needs of the residents and visitors of Dubai. So the registration will help a lot to, as I said, to respond to all these needs.
Okay, like understanding nature, the demographic, the population numbers, and all of that. Okay, so in terms of violations, like if I have, for example, a one-bedroom apartment, do you know how many people max can stay in that apartment?
To be honest with you, I don't have the exact number, but it's more about common sense. It's a common sense. The law is a common sense.
Yeah, of course.
It's a logic thing.
Yeah.
So you cannot 12 people stay in one bedroom. It's maybe 2 or maximum.
Or as you said,
3,
what you have agreed on with the landlord.
Exactly.
Okay, and when is the tenant in the right? With all these new rules and regulations coming in, how do you know when you're in the right, or how to find out if me as a tenant, I'm in the right side of law?
Okay,
right?
if you have a co-occupants and you register him, if you register your tenancy agreement in RERA, if you have a full detailed agreement with your landlord about what the needs that or the reason of renting such unit, the number of people, the way that you will pay, in case that there is any breach, the way that you will solve any breach. If you fill this all in a contract, I think you will be in the right position. And
even a WhatsApp conversation?
WhatsApp conversation will be amount as evidence before the Dubai Rent Dispute Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I read a lot of news online, and let's say I take different articles from different places, where do you recommend is the source for all of this information? If there's anyone out there who's confused and they want to go directly to the accurate source of information, where should they go?
Follow me. No.
Yeah. Go on.
Actually, the Dubai Land Department websites, Dubai Media office accounts in Twitter and Instagram and their websites. So try to follow the actual source and the government sector source to have all the information. And if you have any problem, let's say I've heard that some people try to register the co-occupants with them in the REST application, they face some problems. So how do you solve this? Directly call call Dubai Land Department, say to them, I have a technical issue, or send them an email, and they will solve it directly.
Awesome. And on the note of how to find out information, where can people find you if they have questions?
Actually, I am on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn. So follow me.
And you are incredible.
Omar Al Helou or
Omar Al Helou, yeah. And actually, all of my posts come with subtitles. So
English subtitles?
English subtitles.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You're incredible.
welcome.
Like you are our go-to lawyer for any and all questions related to like just Dubai and laws and regulations. So thank you so much.
You are welcome, Simran. Thank you very much to having me today.
Not at all. What a great way to end the show and what a great way to start the weekend. That was Omar Al Helou. Thank you for answering all of our questions about the new laws of co-occupancy registration in Dubai. And we're back with you on Monday morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Stay safe and
Bye.
please wash your hands.
Bye.
Like I was